run games today. With that, it's off to a frozen tundra and a rotating team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, there's just something that feeds what we have here on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap. Hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we saw Larry focus on the tight end matchup in his open. We think it's one to watch, don't you?
Definitely one to watch because these guys can create such big plays by all the different things they can do. Line up out wide, in the slot, line up in a normal tight end position, and then who are you going to cover them with? Is it a linebacker, a defensive back? They create mismatches all throughout the game.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And here come the New York Giants, led by Eli Manning. Happy belated birthday to Eli Manning, January 3rd this week. He turned 36, Mr. Davis.
Plenty of great experience, and what the Giants fans have to like, if you're talking about omens and looking for things, right? They're going to Green Bay to play the first-round game in the playoffs. They've beaten them the last 2 times they've gone there in the playoffs. And they're a wild card. And when they're a wild card, Eli Manning 8-0 and 2 Super Bowl championships.
Yeah, absolutely. And hoping to make that a third. It'll be a tough road. We'll see. Here's the former 7th-round pick, Rashad Jennings. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. Hitting Donnell here, the tight end right side. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Manning finding time. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hughes is an absolute force. Multiple Pro Bowls as an outside linebacker. He can swing inside and create the same havoc.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. If you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Jennings. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a 1st down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On play action, it's Manning surveying the field. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and it's 3rd and short. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. First down and goal to go from the 7. Here's Jennings. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense. Still 2nd down.
And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. On the toss, Vereen. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on 3rd and goal. On 3rd and long, it's Manning. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Dwayne Harris, the intended target, and it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So on 4th down, Eli comes off, and on is Josh Brown for the field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Brown able to put it through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but partner, that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. Set to return, this is Jeff Janis. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you, and maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back and locating the ball, you name it, it's difficult all the way around. But the guy throwing it, he may have the toughest task.
The first carry now, this is Lacy. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's the offensive unit coming out onto the field in just a moment. Randall Cobb, very good at wideout.
Went to college to be a quarterback. Discovered his talents couldn't be limited to one position. He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year for his quarterback.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. Again, it's Lacy. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because which sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They chalked that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, you don't have to be super tall to still execute a good fade route. You run a good route, lean away from the defender.
How about a good pass?
There you go. There you go. You got to have that to finish things off, and they got the full combo on that play.
They'll run it with Lacey. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Both the run and pass still in play here on 3rd and goal from the 3. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
This is where it gets fun because this is a big decision coming up. Listen to the crowd. You can tell they've already made their decision. You know they want them to go for it. But the big decision does rest with the head coach. What will he decide to do?
So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Crosby puts it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they take it all the way to the 1-yard line, but in the end, they opt for 3.
I know if this was a video game, they never would have gone for the field goal because, Brandon, who kicks field goals in video games? But you got to make sure you get points, and that was as easy a 3 as you can get.
You kick field goals in video games. That's who kicks field goals in video games. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. On first down, Manning. He's got time in the pocket. Still back there. Looking deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. This is Jennings. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
Still 3rd down.
looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Manning going to throw. It's caught. Shepard. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken what the defense will give him.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come up in an offset eye. Jennings. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They give him a gain of 38.
I don't care what the game plan was coming in. After these runs,
you're running it, right?
you make sure you keep circling on your play sheet, running plays that are working, and keep patting those big offensive linemen on the back. They're doing a great job.
Goes without saying the defense is going to have to just
stop the run, or can they just do it better than what they've done so far?
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They run again with Jennings. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Dayton Jones makes the stop defensively.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Now they'll throw it with Manning, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. And he floats one there, incomplete. Can't imagine we'd see another throw here. 3rd and goal from the 1. whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. Manning now on 3rd and goal. That's caught at the 3. It's a gain of 5. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Giants will look to Josh Brown for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
They begin the drive with Lacey. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. As we peek at the starters defensively for New York, I'm thinking back to a couple weeks ago when I asked you the changes they made in the offseason, how they have formed this defense. Whatever they did, the moves they made, they worked.
Yeah, give Giants management a lot of credit because they went out and got Damon Harrison on the defensive line, and he makes it tough to run the ball inside. Olivier Vernon got better and better as the season went on as a pass rusher, and that's exactly why they got him. How about Janoris Jenkins? Covering people out wide. The bigger the star receiver, the better the performance you get from him. But all in all, the best player in the Giants' defense is their safety, Landon Collins. He's going to get some mention for Defensive Player of the Year.
A dump off to Lacey. And a nifty little deep juke spin move. Not a great deal there on the back end, but a nice gain still.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
Every time I see a hitch pattern dropped, I go back to the combine because there's a drill that they use all the time that's called the gauntlet drill, where a receiver catches the ball and just works his way straight down the line and catches it from different sides. And the problem with that drill is that you don't actually have to secure the catch. You just kind of catch it, drop it immediately, and keep moving. And sometimes that shows up.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll begin the drive with Rashad Jennings. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Now it's Jennings. Stays on his feet. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
It's been a game of field goals thus far. 6-3, that's our score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. On the return, it's high. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Giants defense getting ready to go here. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3 and out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3 and outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another 3 and out. They come out here in the eye. They start the drive on the ground with Lacey. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
158.
They run it again with Lacey. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, there's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll run here. This is James Starks. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got time. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Here's Tim Mastay now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They begin the drive with Jennings on the ground. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 2nd down, here's Manning. And here the hook up good to Victor Cruz. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. 9
yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and they move
the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A pickup there of 36. And it's first down, New York.
All right, I've got to be careful here. All right, he's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his feet as far as he's concerned.
What are you saying? I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely. Still got a lot of life left in those legs. So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll run. It's Vereen. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They stick on the ground. Again, it's Vereen. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Out on the right, this is Cruz. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They come out here in the eye. On the run, here's Vereen. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
And the seemingly endless drive continues. Manning to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 6. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Manning going to try and throw on 3rd down. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
One receiver left, 2 to the right. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He he's sacked. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
They come out here in the eye. Rodgers going to give to Lacey on the draw. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker, because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything, because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Finding time. Out in the flat for Starks. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Tim Mastay now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is Harris. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And New York set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. From the gun on 3rd down, Manning. And he's got his man, Donnell. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Surveying the field, and he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Well, partners, that pass falls incomplete. How about a few guys who will probably look at this season as being incomplete for them? And I'll start with Carlos Hyde, the nice runner for the San Francisco 49ers. 12 yards shy of 1,000.
In the backfield, Melvin Gordon 3 yards shy of 1,000. Then Devontae Adams on the receiving end. He finished with 997 as well. And how about Matt Ryan throwing the ball? 56 shy of 5,000. Now he'll be in the playoffs, but won't get the 5,000 for the regular season.
Man, 5,000 yards throwing the ball for a quarterback nowadays, that's a heck of a benchmark. But what a season for Matty Ice.
And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch.
You really got to find a way to drive the ball. You know, get your grip. You know, that's why we see some of the guys now that put the gloves on when they throw the ball in this type of a condition. Sometimes the glove might make it too slippery. So you got to figure out what's going to work for you. But how about the receivers? Looking back and trying to locate the ball coming through snow and making sure they have full concentration.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He's got time in the pocket, letting one go deep for the end zone. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And down inside the 15 he goes.
And Richard Rodgers makes the grab, and let's face it, it's going to follow him the rest of his career. The Hail Mary he caught to beat the Lions in 2015 in Detroit, pretty memorable play.
Those Lions fans, they just don't like you right now if they heard that.
I didn't mean to bring it up to, pull the Band-Aid off the wound there. I was just trying to praise Richard Rodgers. Yeah, they're going to be mad at me.
Now a 10th carry here for Lacy. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Send me to Orlando, please.
Don't be so soft. Ten yards still left on second down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. And the corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. It's brought in by Janis. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Crosby puts it through, and that will tie things up at 6-6. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Packers defense here, they're heading back out onto the field. And they got to be feeling good about forcing that long missed field goal the last go around.
And you know what upsets a kicker more than anything? Is missing a kick they think they can make and feeling like the other side believes that they had something to do with it. And it doesn't matter to those guys on defense. I know they're taking full credit. Yep, we forced him into the miss, and they're going to ride that confidence the rest of the way. We'll see if the kicker's able to get his confidence back as well.
Manning now on 1st down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Beckham, he finished 3rd in the NFL with over 1,300 yards receiving this year. And going into the playoffs, how key is he if they're going to make a run?
To me, he's their #1 key because they count on him for those big explosive plays that either get them out of trouble or create great opportunities. Because the running game just has not been there for the Giants all year long. And despite double and sometimes triple teaming, Odell Beckham Jr. does provide that dash downfield that Eli Manning counts on.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Manning now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Daniels in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
One final try now for Manning. Underneath for Jennings. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. So we have reached halftime here with not much scoring between these two teams. 6-6 our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, guys. We'll get back to you soon for the second half of this tied ball game. But first, let's look back now at this first half of play. So we've got a tie game at half, and you can bet both coaches are in that locker room making adjustments and telling their guys to just keep playing hard like they did in the first half. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. After the pick, offense comes out now. Vernon's going to push his way to the QB here. This will go for a loss of 8. Have it at the 14. They're going to come away with another sack here. This one ends up as a loss of 3. Now 1st and 10. They're going to get to the QB once again. This ends up as a loss of 9. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you back up to Green Bay as we rejoin Brandon and Charles at Lambeau Field.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. One back is Lacey. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Over the middle, it's Jared catch.
And that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. .3 yards remaining here on second down. Rodgers with a give. It's Lacy. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Rodgers now on first down. Caught on the right side by Adams. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Second down now after the pass completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball. It doesn't work running the ball. And then something pops. And now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Out in the flat for Starks. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Well, I just want to sneak in here as we look at the playoff picture that I have to say the Giants and Packers game of the 4 wildcard games is the one I'm looking forward to the most. How about you?
I'm looking forward to it as well. And I think on the surface, Green Bay has just about every advantage in this one. They're at home. Yeah. No one hotter than Aaron Rodgers right now. Green Bay, you know, they were 4-6 at one point, finished 10-6 and won the division. They're super hot. But New York knows how to go into Green Bay and beat them. You know, traditionally, the last 2 times they've gone in, they've beaten Green Bay, and in fact, have been favored both times. But Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr. thought to be lightning hot in that game. Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll come out in the pistol. They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacy. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Complete to Janis. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
319! 319!
Rodgers now to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jordy Nelson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And it's up and good to extend the lead to 13-6. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Packers defense, they ready themselves here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, Makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
A screen here to Vereen. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Brad Wing now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
319! 319! 319!
They go play action for Lacey. Now Rodgers. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. 3rd down here. Eight yards still remaining here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Tim Mastay now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They start the drive with Jennings. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
They'll run here with Vereen. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. Here's Hyde. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Damon Harrison coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
319! 319!
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
But this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Third down, 15 yards still needed. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Now he'll let it go deep left side. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams, 32 yards. And the Packers add on to their lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Now Crosby for the point after. And the lead is up to 14. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants, and down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, The punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they've managed to get it done.
Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. The Giants defense now ready as they trot back out onto the field. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game where they've just given up points, got pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now.
Can they end it? Let's find out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll try to get the offense going with Lacey. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Second down following the run. Rodgers to throw on second down. He'll set up the screen to Lacey. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They come out here in the I. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Lacey. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
One back is Lacey.
319.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
319.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes really good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Rodgers now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jordy Nelson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. The return comes from Orleans Darkwa. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On first down, Manning over the middle here to Donnell. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Manning. This is Donnell with a grab. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Caught. It's Cruz, left side. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Manning now on 1st down. He's got time. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Manning now on 1st down. And this is Shepard on the catch. Give him 11 on the gain there. And it'll be 1st down, Giants.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. Now Manning. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
Now Manning throwing on second down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Manning now on 3rd and goal. Finding time. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Will tie. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Josh Brown now for the point after. And he's got it to make it 27-13. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
One back is Lacey. They're going to give it to him running right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
On second down, Lacey. And he powers his way up past the 30.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Another pistol look here.
319! 319's an honor!
Rodgers to throw on second down. Caught by Nelson left side. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
319's an honor!
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Cooper Taylor. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. And back out onto the field comes the Packers defense. Last drive, touchdown surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. So after the INT, it's Manning. Hitting Donnell here, the tight end right side. It'll go as a gain of 12, and it'll give the Giants a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Surveying the field. Over the middle to Beckham. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And now a first down following that long gain. And he'll give it here to his running back.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And the offense inside the 5 here at the 4th. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Rashad Jennings, a 3-yard touchdown run. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Now Brown to add on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a Rashad Jennings touchdown run. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now Rodgers will handle Lacey. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
They'll run. This is Lacey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
And this will be incomplete. Eddie Lacy, the one he was trying to get it to. And now it's 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 here. They come out here in the eye. On the ground, this is Lacey. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. It's caught. Nelson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On second down, here's Rodgers. He's got time in the pocket. And his throw here's incomplete. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Throwing on first down is Manning. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Dayton Jones able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
So the sack on first down there by the defense, and now it's second down. Now Manning throwing on second down to Shepard, complete over the middle. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going to run. It's Jennings. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Sam Shields. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense.
And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They'll run. This is Lacey. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. For an all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The defense in an enviable position here. The offense needs 13 yards. It's third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Tim Mastay now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
He's back to throw. Over the middle here to Donnell. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. And the Giants are going to get a first down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. He's got time. Look at the time. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Back to throw. Drops it off in the flat to Jennings. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
He'll look to throw. It's his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And they're going to speed things up here. Manning to throw. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Manning, got to have this one. And he's got his man, Donnell. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Larry Donnell with time running out. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. So we saw a lot of points. Overtime comes. The defenses, they clamp down.
Rather amazing, isn't it? Because would you have even thought that we get to overtime after what we witnessed for 4 quarters?
Not at all.
And have 0 points on either side? Not a chance, right? And somehow it happened. We always talk about making adjustments. Maybe both defenses took 4 full quarters in order to get an adjustment. Got 1 good period in for both defenses, and now they go home. You buying tonight?
I thought it was you. I did last week. I did the last 2 weeks.
Oh, I was trying to go for 3.
Dinner on you, my good
Tried
man.
to go for 3.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field, except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, here's Manning. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want. Get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Finding time. Fighting through. It's caught. Shepard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Manning now on 1st down. Cruz has it over the middle. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Manning to throw once more. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A big play there on the screen pass. 32 yards.
What really hurts defenses on screen passes is that they eat up one of their levels right away. Because you know, most defense, there's 3 levels: D-line, linebacker, secondary. But on a screen pass, you're inviting the defensive line to get past them, and then you throw the ball over their heads. And now there's just 2 levels left to try and stop big guys out in front of a guy running with the football.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Jennings. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 3rd and long, it's Manning. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. So a big kick forthcoming here for Josh Brown. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And Brown able to put it through. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. All right, so they're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now it'll be up to their defense to try and see this one out.
So remember now, a field goal on this next drive would get us to sudden death. Any kind of turnover or turnover on downs would end the game, as would any touchdown. So this one's still very much up in the air.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On Second down, here's Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And here's your ball game, down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. Here we go with Lacey. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Oh, 4th and short, right at midfield. This is where you tell your offense, I've got faith in you guys to get me a few yards. And sure enough, they repay that faith and keep the drive moving with a 1st down.
Left to the right. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers surveying the field, and that'll be incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
Offense.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
319, 58.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's got time in the pocket. Out in the flat for Starks. They needed 15. They got 15. And a good mark to boot. It's 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Fresh set of downs here.
319.
Now a play fake here on first down. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Following the penalty now, Lacey. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
2nd and goal from the 7. Lacey will try again. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. A great game partner, a spectacular finish. They needed at least a field goal to keep the game alive. They do one better. They get it in the end zone and end it.
And I don't know about you, but I'm worn out. That type of a game takes it all out of us as well, not just the guys on the field. What a tremendous finish, and as you noted, were they going to go and try and get 3 and keep the game going? And that wasn't good enough for them. They got the touchdown, and that's why we're able to say goodbye.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more